Hello everyone, this is Tom Fox. I would like to welcome you to the Sunday Book Review. The Sunday Book Review is the series where I discuss books which impact the compliance practitioner, the legal professional, and the business professional. I hope you will enjoy this episode. This week I continue a two-part series on the Library of America's science fiction collection from the 1960s, and in this episode we focus on 1968 and 1969. We begin with Emphyrio by Jack Vance. This is a book about a land ruled by powerful and remote feudal lords, and Halma is a planet of craftsmen where any kind of machine-based manufacturing is punishable by death. There exists exquisite handiworks are prized throughout the galaxy, but Halma's artisans eke out a bare living while the lords take vast profits elsewhere. Young Gil Tarcote learns from his father that the world's injustices can be remedied, and the answer lies with the legend of Emphyrio. When a cruel and arbitrary judgment shatters the foundation of their life, Gil begins a desperate quest to discover the real truth of Emphyrio. Next up is a story entitled Picnic on Paradise by Joanna Russ. This is set in a semi-utopian world, and it's a groundbreaking debut novel of Alex, a female soldier, survival guide, and agent of the Trans-Temporal Authority. Displaced in time from her ancient Greece, Alex is tasked with safely leading a group of pampered human vacationers, including some unconventional nuns and a detached teenager known as the Machine, across an uninhibited scenic terrain to a relief station. But the journey proves more chilling than anticipated as they confront one of another's failings and the physical dangers of an icy, hostile wilderness and Alex's own personal demons. Long before the age of kick-ass heroines, Russ unapologetically introduced readers to a short, strong, middle-aged woman of 26. That was middle-aged in the 60s. Think about that. Who knows how to survive struggles with emotional nuances. It's an iconic character and one that I highly recommend. Next up is Nova by Samuel Delaney. Given that the suns of Draco stretch almost 16 light years from end to end, it stands to reason that the cost of transportation is one of the most important factors of the 32nd century. Since Illyrian is the element needed for space travel, Lork Van Ray is willing to fly through the core of a recently imploded sun in order to obtain several tons of it. The potential profit is so great that Lork has little difficulty cobbling together an alluring crew that includes a gypsy magician, a moon-obsessed scholar interested in the ancient art of writing a novel. What the crew doesn't know is that Lork's quest is actually fueled by a private revenge so consuming he'll stop at nothing to achieve it. In one of the grandest manners of speculative fiction, Nova is a wise and witty novel that casts a fascinating light on some of humanity's oldest truths and enduring myths. And finally, we end with Past Master. Plucked from time, Sir Thomas More arrives on the human colony of Astrobe in 2535, where there is trouble in utopia. Can he and his motley followers save the golden world from the programming persons and the soulless perfection they have engineered? The survival of faith itself is at stake. Lafferty turns the conventions of the space opera science fiction upside down and inside out with fractured allegories, tales within tales, twinkle-in-the-eye surprises, fantastic byways, and alien objectives that takes one's breath away. It is indeed a great way to introduce yourself to a formidable writer of science fiction. As I said last week, the reason I wanted to bring these 8 books up is, one, they were recommended by the Library of America, so that alone makes it worthwhile. But I'd like you to think about how can you use some of these tales in your own compliance communication. You may have a lot of science fiction readers out there in your millennial workforce that you're not considering utilizing communications in a different way. So think about it and read some good science fiction. I hope you've enjoyed this production of the Sunday Book Review, which is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.